Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to the channel where we dive deep into the untold stories and legendary careers that shape the world of sports. Today, we're unearthing a force of nature, a five-time Stanley Cup champion whose impact reverberated far beyond the ice, the one and only John Bowie Ferguson Sr. His legacy lives on, etched into the very fabric of hockey history. Standing at a solid 5 feet 11 inches and weighing in at 178 pounds, Fergy played the left wing, a southpaw with a punch, both literal and figurative. Imagine a young boy growing up in the vibrant, rain-kissed city of Vancouver, British Columbia. John Bowie Ferguson Sr. was born on September 5, 1938, in Vancouver. His early life was marked by a profound loss. He was just 9 years old when his father passed away, leaving his resilient mother to raise him near the bustling Pacific National Exhibition. This early brush with adversity likely forged a deep well of strength and determination within him, qualities that would define his entire life and career. But even amidst such a challenging start, a passion ignited within young John. Beyond the frozen ponds and the clamor of the city, Ferguson harbored a deep, almost innate love for horses, spending countless hours at Hastings Park. This wasn't just a fleeting interest. It was a connection that ran deep, a quiet counterpoint to the aggressive world of contact sports he would later dominate. And it wasn't just horses and hockey that captivated him. He was also a formidable lacrosse player, showcasing an athletic versatility and a natural competitive spirit that would define his professional life. This breadth of athletic experience no doubt contributed to his exceptional hand-eye coordination, his strategic thinking, and his formidable physical presence. His hockey journey began humbly enough, not with a stick in hand on the ice, but as a stick boy for the Vancouver Canucks of the Western Hockey League. It was in this seemingly innocuous role that a crucial transformative idea sparked in young John's mind. From the sidelines, he witnessed a recurring, frustrating pattern. Talented Canucks players, the very artists of the game, repeatedly fell victim to dirty plays, cheap shots, and relentless aggression from opponents. What struck him, and what would ultimately shape his destiny, was the glaring absence of a response. No one was stepping up. No one was protecting the skill. No one was making the opposing team pay for their transgressions. It was in these moments of observation, watching the vulnerability of his heroes, that Ferguson conceived of the indispensable role of the enforcer. He recognized the profound need for someone to shield the artists, to stand up when others couldn't or wouldn't, to be the shield and the sword. This realization would become the bedrock, the very philosophy, of his unparalleled NHL career. It wasn't about gratuitous violence. It was about establishing a code, a deterrent, a fundamental fairness on the ice. His junior hockey days took him through the rugged terrain of Western Canada with the Melville Millionaires of the Saskatchewan Junior Hockey League. He honed his craft, his physical game, and his strategic understanding of the sport across 3 seasons, from 1956 to 1959. While specific statistics for some of these early years are elusive, the formative experience in a league known for its grit and development undoubtedly prepared him for the professional ranks. In the 1959-60 season, he made his professional debut with the Fort Wayne Komets in the International Hockey League, a crucial step in his ascent. Then, in 1960, he made the significant leap to the American Hockey League, joining the Cleveland Barons. He spent 3 seasons with the Barons until 1963, consistently proving his dual-threat capability, his ability to put up points while also serving as a formidable physical presence. In 204 AHL games, he notched 71 goals, 82 assists, totaling 153 points, and accumulated 451 penalty minutes. These numbers are not just statistics. They are a testament to a player who was more than just an enforcer. He was a skilled forward who could contribute offensively while physically dominating his opponents, a rare and valuable combination that caught the eye of hockey's most prestigious organization. The year 1963 marked a pivotal, life-altering moment. John Ferguson Sr. was called up to the grand stage, the hallowed ice of the Montreal Canadiens, for the 1963-64 season. This was not merely a promotion. It was a destiny fulfilled, a move that would forever intertwine his name with one of hockey's most storied and revered franchises. His primary mission, as envisioned by the Canadiens' astute management, was clear and vital: to be the enforcer, to guard the legendary captain John Bowie, a player of unparalleled grace and skill, from the relentless onslaught of aggressive defensemen and opposing goons. Bowie, for all his talent, was often targeted, and the Canadiens needed someone to deter such tactics. Ferguson was that man, and he wasted absolutely no time in making his presence known. His NHL debut became instantly legendary, etching itself into the annals of hockey lore. Just 12 seconds into his very first NHL game against the fierce Boston Bruins, he famously dropped the gloves with their formidable tough guy, Ted Green. Ferguson emerged victorious from the skirmish, sending an unmistakable, unequivocal message across the league. John Ferguson was here, he was tough, and he meant business. The Montreal Canadiens, and indeed the entire NHL, had a new dominant force to contend with. But to pigeonhole Ferguson as merely a tough guy, a fighter, would be a profound and grave injustice, a disservice to his immense and multifaceted talent. He was, unequivocally, a legitimate offensive threat, a player with skill to match his intimidating brawn. His presence on the ice wasn't just about deterring opponents, it was about creating scoring chances. Playing alongside the incomparable Bowie, a partnership that brought out the best in both men, Ferguson didn't just hold his own, he thrived. He led all NHL rookies in points during his inaugural season, a staggering accomplishment for a player primarily known for his physicality. Furthermore, he was a runner-up for the prestigious Calder Trophy in 1963-64, awarded to the league's most outstanding rookie. This wasn't just about fighting, it was about contributing across the board, proving that an enforcer could also be a top-tier offensive contributor. His offensive prowess reached its zenith in the 1968-69 season, a year that would become a personal career high for Ferguson. He recorded an astounding 29 goals, showcasing his scoring touch and ability to finish plays. More remarkably, he achieved an astounding plus-minus rating of +30, a statistic that speaks volumes about his defensive responsibility and his overall positive impact on the team's goal differential when he was on the ice. This was not merely an individual triumph, it was a season crowned with collective glory. In 1969, he etched his name into Canadiens lore by scoring the Stanley Cup winning goal, a moment of pure magic that solidified his place in the hearts of Montreal fans and in the history books. His playoff performances were equally remarkable, showcasing his ability to elevate his game when the stakes were highest. In 85 career postseason games, he recorded an impressive 20 goals and 18 assists, demonstrating his clutch performance and offensive reliability when championships were on the line. Such was his consistent impact and skill that he was selected to the NHL All-Star team twice, a testament to his multifaceted talent and the respect he commanded across the league. His trophy cabinet glittered with the ultimate prize in hockey, 5 Stanley Cups. He was an integral part of the Canadiens dynasty, hoisting the coveted trophy in 1965, 1966, 1968, 1969, and 1971. These victories weren't just about individual glory, they were about a team built on skill, grit, and an unyielding will to win, with Ferguson as a foundational pillar. He was a constant presence in the penalty box, often leading his team in penalty minutes, consistently racking up over 100 minutes in regular seasons. This was a clear, undeniable indicator of his role as the team's protector, his willingness to step into the fray and defend his teammates, no matter the cost. He played a total of 8 NHL seasons, a relatively short but incredibly impactful career, and every single one of those seasons was spent with the iconic Montreal Canadiens. His loyalty to the bleu, blanc, et rouge was unwavering. However, the story of his playing career also contains a subtle, yet significant tragedy. His sudden retirement in 1971, at what many considered still a productive age, sent shockwaves through the Canadiens organization. While the exact reasons for his decision might have been complex, the consensus among many within the hockey world is that his departure left a profound void in the Canadiens lineup. Many believe that without Ferguson's intimidating physical presence and his willingness to enforce a certain code of conduct on the ice, opposing teams began to play more physically and aggressively against the Canadiens. The Fergy factor, the deterrent he provided, was gone, and the impact was felt. It's a testament to his unique role that his absence could so palpably alter the physical dynamic of an entire team. His career NHL statistics speak volumes about his remarkable career. In 500 games, he amassed 145 goals, 158 assists, for a total of 303 points, and accumulated a staggering 1,214 penalty minutes. These numbers paint a comprehensive picture of a player who could score, who could set up plays, and who always had his teammates' backs, embodying the ideal blend of skill and toughness. But John Ferguson Sr.'s story, rich and impactful as his playing career was, didn't end when he hung up his skates. His inherent passion for competition, his keen understanding of strategy, and his undeniable leadership qualities propelled him into a dynamic and multifaceted post-playing career that spanned coaching, management, and even broadcasting. He was a man who couldn't stay away from the action, always seeking new challenges and ways to contribute to the sports he loved. Even before his illustrious hockey management days, Ferguson was already making significant waves as a coach in another sport he loved and excelled at: lacrosse. He took on the role of coach for the Sorel Titans, one of the 6 semi-pro clubs competing in the Quebec Lacrosse League during the 1960s. This early coaching experience showcased his innate ability to lead, motivate, and strategize across different disciplines, demonstrating that his leadership wasn't confined to the ice but was a fundamental part of his character. This versatility undoubtedly broadened his perspective and prepared him for the complex world of professional sports management. His coaching prowess soon found its way back to the ice, but on an international stage. In 1972, Ferguson became a pivotal figure as an assistant coach for Team Canada in the legendary Summit Series. This was more than just a hockey tournament. It was a Cold War proxy battle on ice, a defining moment in hockey history where Canada, against all odds, triumphed over the seemingly invincible Soviet Union. It was during this intensely charged series that Ferguson's fiercely competitive nature and his unwavering desire to win came to the forefront in a controversial yet undeniably impactful moment. He famously urged Team Canada's tough forward, Bobby Clarke, to intentionally injure the ankle of Soviet star Valery Kharlamov, justifying it with the blunt, no-nonsense assessment, "That guy is killing us." This instruction, which led to Clarke slashing Kharlamov's ankle, remains a deeply debated incident in hockey history. While morally questionable to some, it undeniably underscored Ferguson's relentless competitive spirit and his willingness to push boundaries to secure victory for his country. It also highlighted the intense pressure and the win-at-all-costs mentality that permeated high-stakes international competition during that era. Following his impactful role in the Summit Series, Ferguson took the reins as head coach for the New York Rangers from 1975 to 1977. He then had a brief, though less successful, stint as head coach for the Winnipeg Jets in 1985 to 86. These coaching roles, while not leading to the same dynastic success as his playing career, provided him with invaluable experience in team dynamics, player psychology, and strategic game planning from a different perspective. Beyond the bench, Ferguson proved to be an exceptionally astute and impactful hockey executive. He first served as the general manager of the New York Rangers from 1976 to 1978. While his tenure as GM of the Rangers eventually ended with his dismissal, it was marked by a significant, audacious coup that highlighted his incredible eye for talent and his persuasive abilities. He successfully lured 2 of the most dynamic and skilled players in the game, Anders Hedberg and Ulf Nilsson, away from the Winnipeg Jets of the World Hockey Association, WHA, to the Rangers in 1978. At the time, Hedberg and Nilsson were widely considered among the absolute best players, not only in the Jets organization, but in the entire WHA, celebrated for their speed, skill, and offensive prowess. This move was a massive statement, demonstrating Ferguson's ability to identify elite talent and convince them to join his team, even across rival leagues. His managerial journey continued as he became the general manager of the Winnipeg Jets, first in the WHA and then as the league merged in the NHL, a role he held from 1978 or 1979 until 1988. This extended period as a general manager solidified his reputation as a shrewd hockey mind, responsible for building and shaping a professional franchise. His keen eye for talent isn't limited to established stars. He also had a remarkable ability to spot and cultivate nascent talent. In the early 1990s, from 1992 to 1995, he served as the director of player personnel for the Ottawa Senators. It was in this role that he made one of his most celebrated contributions to the game, famously credited with discovering and signing Daniel Alfredsson, a relatively unknown Swedish prospect who would go on to become a Senators legend, captaining the team for many years and leaving an indelible mark on the franchise. This foresight and ability to unearth hidden gems cemented his legacy as a true talent scout. Even in his later years, Ferguson continued to contribute his vast hockey knowledge and experience. From 1995 until his passing, he served as a special consultant to the general manager of the San Jose Sharks, and later as their senior director of pro scouting. His wisdom and experience were sought after, and he remained an active and influential voice in hockey circles. His insights weren't confined to the front office either. His voice also graced the airwaves as he worked as a color commentator for the NHL network from 1975 to 1979, offering his unique insights and perspectives to a wider audience, bringing his undeniable charisma and deep understanding of the game to fans across North America. Beyond the intense competitive world of hockey, John Ferguson Sr. was a devoted family man. He was married to Joan, and together they built a loving family, raising 4 children, John Jr., who would admirably follow in his father's footsteps to become a general manager of the Toronto Maple Leafs, extending the family's legacy in hockey's executive ranks. Catherine, Chris, and Joanne. His family was his bedrock, providing a grounding force amidst the demanding schedule of professional sports. In his later years, John and Joan made their home in Windsor, Ontario, a decision largely influenced by their enduring, shared love for horses. Windsor's proximity to equestrian facilities and its vibrant horse racing scene provided the perfect setting for their passion. He even briefly served as the general manager of Windsor Raceway in 1988. A clear example of how he intertwined his personal interests with his professional endeavors, always finding a way to contribute and lead in the fields he cared about most. This period of his life showcased a man who, despite his intense competitive history, found peace and joy in the simple yet profound connection with these magnificent animals. However, the final chapter of John Ferguson Sr.'s remarkable life, much like the unexpected end of his playing career, was marked by a profound and personal tragedy. In September 2005, John Ferguson Sr. was diagnosed with prostate cancer. The news was, of course, devastating, not just for him and his family, but for the entire hockey community who held him in such high esteem. Initially, there was hope. He bravely battled the disease, and for a time, it seemed as though he had triumphed over it, entering a period of remission. This news brought immense relief to his loved ones and his many admirers. But the insidious nature of cancer often means that the fight is never truly over. Sadly, despite his initial perceived victory, the prostate cancer recurrently returned. This recurrence brought with it a renewed and ultimately more challenging battle. John Ferguson Sr., ever the fighter, faced this final, formidable opponent with the same courage and determination he displayed throughout his hockey career. He underwent treatments, maintained his characteristic grit, and fought with everything he had, mirroring the resilience he exhibited on the ice as an enforcer and a leader. Despite his valiant fight, the disease eventually took its toll. On July 14, 2007, John Bowie Fergy Ferguson Sr. passed away in Windsor, Ontario, at the age of 68. His passing left a profound void, not just within his immediate family, who mourned a beloved husband and father, but across the entire hockey community. The news reverberated through the NHL, touching the lives of countless former teammates, opponents, coaches, executives, and fans who had been impacted by his immense presence and contributions. His legacy, however, remains undimmed by this tragedy. He is remembered not just for the sadness of his final illness, but for the fierce competitor he was, the loyal teammate who always had his fellow players' backs, the shrewd executive who could spot talent from miles away, and the dedicated family man who found solace and joy away from the spotlight. John Ferguson Sr. was a true pioneer, embodying a unique blend of toughness and skill that is rarely seen in the game. He was an enforcer who could score crucial goals, a 5-time Stanley Cup champion who helped build a dynasty, and a man who dedicated his entire life to the game he loved.